Okay, well, hello everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Justine Mahoney, account executive here with Bangert Inc., also a third generation leader here at Bangert. So I imagine you are here today because you want to know why ERP projects fail in construction and what to do differently. So as I mentioned in the comments, we're going to cover vendor selection, implementation, and ongoing support. Now, a little bit about us at Bangert. If you don't know us, we are a 40 plus year veteran in the construction, accounting, and software space. That's all that we do. The company was founded in the early 1980s by my late grandfather, Richard Bangert, and now is led by my father, Kurt Bangert, who is our president and CEO. So proud to be a third generation legacy to the company. So if you are here today, before we get started, if you are here today because you are looking for a successful ERP implementation, write success in the comments. And even if you're watching the recording, do the same thing. I just want to know if you're here or not, really. So anyway, let's get started. So any decision to change accounting software in particular should be very forward-looking, not only in the platform that you select, but also the method to deliver a functioning system and critically ongoing added value. So the number one reason why construction ERP projects fail is unmet expectations. The software industry is rife with overpromising and underdelivering. And if you're a Reddit user, or even if you're not, I invite you to go on there and check out the accounting channels, and you'll see what I mean. A lot of software companies will say or do whatever it takes just to get you in the door. And then once you buy, you're hit with reality. Because largely, particularly the industry is ubiquitous with the hourly billing model for implementations, which is old and outdated. You're assigned an overworked consultant, you're hit with change orders, you get missed deadlines, and the crown of it all, you have a blown budget. Examples of this are, perhaps in the demo, you saw a report or automation, and then you find out that it wasn't actually included in your implementation fee. So all of a sudden you have extra costs just to get them. And another example would be, maybe you were told that the system would just be set up for you with little to no involvement. You could just go about doing your day job. It's all good. Well, all of a sudden your go live timeline gets delayed because now you have to fit this somehow in with your day job. Perhaps you were promised a project manager, and I put that in quotes, from the software vendor. This is totally ineffective. All of a sudden, your schedule goes awry because reality is no external project manager can manage your team's time when they also have a day job to do. And I could go on. So the best thing that you can do for your company is to select the right vendor, both for software and for services. So how do you do that? So let's start with construction accounting software. Sage Intacct Construction, for example, has a true job costing system and key construction reports, like QuickBooks in particular, it cannot handle. Things like built-in WIP reporting, built-in AIA billing, built-in subcontracts, and lien waiver and compliance management, to name a few. For firms that have multiple entities, it's really easy to manage multiple entities from different LLCs to even joint ventures, all from one login. And because the software is modern and cloud native, not only is it accessed from a web browser, but data is there in real time and dashboards in the way that you need to see it to make business decisions. And automations can also be set up to make your job even easier. So let's get to services vendors. So number one, always select a vendor that specializes in your industry. And in our case, it's construction real estate if you're here today with us. So that may seem obvious, but a good example of this is a lot of companies will go to their CPA first because they think their CPA knows it all, and not throwing CPAs under the bus. They're great at what they do, tax and audit and consulting on your financial setup and things like that. However, they are not always the best choice to go to for advice on software selection and implementation services, even if that CPA firm has an arm that specializes in technology. Oftentimes, they're just one small arm of a greater firm that does not do as frequent of software implementations. So they don't always also stay up to date on what's new and what's there in the construction technology space. There's a reason why companies like Bangert operate and specialize in one niche. And it's because that focus in one niche results in higher volume of software implementations, which results in laser-focused expertise, which results in more successful software go-lives. So number 2, select a vendor that offers modern technology. And again, that might seem obvious. Often companies, are looking at software and they don't understand that the construction accounting software market is still full of software that is sold as modern, quote unquote, but is actually just old software that is cloud hosted or a software that has modern components cobbled together with it. Modern technology means cloud native, cloud built, cloud coded software, period. It's often most comfortable for stakeholders to choose a software that they're most comfortable with, either because they know it or the software has been around for a long time. This is a grave mistake if you are a company that's looking to be in business for more than 5 years, especially, and particularly if you're looking to grow. So a key question when you're looking at software is to ask the vendor, has your software ever been Windows PC based? Without even asking a question, it's usually very visually telling. For example, you could look at a software and know it's old if it has a file and exit on it. No cloud native software is going to have a file exit. That tells you it's a cloud hosted software. Also, a lot of times a cloud hosted software will have AWS or Azure in the web URL, which is often overlooked, but a really true example of how software is cloud hosted, that web URL. So if you're a company owner here, I challenge you to get involved in your accounting software selection if you're not already. And if you're a controller or CFO, I also challenge you to look at software that's outside of your comfort zone if you aren't already. Because what is most comfortable is not always the best choice. It could be for the short term, but not necessarily for the long term. So, and I get this all the time, if you are uncomfortable with modern technology, how do you get comfortable with it? Well, number 1, if you're buying through a software partner like Bangert, consider how long the partner has been in business and their expertise. Because a partner like us who's been in business for over 40 years does not take software partnerships lightly. It is not inexpensive to partner with a software vendor. It is also not inexpensive to hire and train staff on sales and implementation and support of the software. So that should definitely tell you something, that software has legs. Number 2, does the software have reviews directly from customers online without incentive on websites like Trustpilot? Now, a lot of you are probably familiar with software advice, and there's several out there. A word of caution with those that oftentimes, not always, those customer reviews are incentivized. Now, websites like Trustpilot, Bangert's got one, check it out. They are not incentivized. Customers go on there and write their reviews, good or bad, without being prompted. Number 3, are there videos on YouTube that are more than just sales demos, that actually show the nitty-gritty detail of the software? Because a company that is willing to expose that kind of information is fully confident in their solution. Number 4, what does the software development team itself actually look like? Ask about that. For example, with Sage Intacct Construction, the development team is comprised of developers that have decades of experience developing construction-specific construction accounting software. Again, that should tell you something. So let's go on to software implementation. And I will say this, fully expect to dig into your software implementation if you want to be successful with it. A successful software implementation depends on you, the end user's accountability. I also want to dispel the myth that an in-person implementation is better. It is not. It is far worse. And at the end of this today, I'll post a link with feedback from one of our customers who in a past life went through an in-person implementation. So you can hear it from a customer firsthand, not just from me. So in-person seems better at first glance, though what happens is that you do spend this concentrated amount of time with somebody, but 99.9% of the time the consultant leaves and you're still left with questions. And you're out of time. You're out of time you already bought. So then unless you want to spend more money, buy more time, you have to be left with these unanswered questions. So you should also look for a true partner and one that has your best interests in mind. And we'll talk about what that means more in a bit. But the next big thing is to ask for a not to exceed number on services implementation in writing. It is common in this industry, as I said before, to get software at a low number and then be hit on the other side with exorbitant costs. Review your services contracts carefully, even if it's crazy long and you don't want to. Get your legal team involved if you need to. Those are often the most overlooked parts of a software purchase. I'll offer that if a company has a super long contract to go over, that should give you a red flag. Contracts in our industry do not have to be complicated, especially if the company is putting you, the customer, first. So at Bangert, we flipped implementation on its head. And if you follow us at all, you've probably heard this before. We call it Bangert deployment. We got rid of the word implementation. You buy our knowledge, not our time. You get one price, all you can eat for training, Q&A sessions, system refinement, and support. No change orders ever guaranteed. The biggest deal with this is that you will get to know your software inside and out, and our team will get to know you inside and out as well. After over 40 years of doing this, implementing construction software largely on that old hourly billing model, we have just found that the happiest customers are the ones that know the most about their software and get the most out of it for the long term. So when you know more, you spend less of your time with us on support tickets, less time trying to figure things out yourself, and even worse, you're not creating workarounds, which we have found to be very common in the legacy software that we sell. People just don't invest more in their software over time. So remember, when I said look for a true partner, this is what I mean. A true partner is going to ensure that you're going to get the most out of the software from implementation and beyond without charging you an arm and a leg for it. Our team at Bangert is very diverse in their background set, and for good reason. Again, to provide customers the most value. They're not only expert in Sage software, some have also been in your shoes as construction controllers and CFOs, working firsthand in your job, doing what you do day in and day out with the software that we offer. They're also CPAs with tax and audit experience. They're versed in construction dashboarding and reporting, and I could go on. And that leads me to ongoing support. Break-fix support alone is outdated. At Bangert, we flip that on its head as well. So with our services, you are getting the same level of value every single year with us as you did during your initial software deployment, even though you're spending less than you were in year one. So if you want to repeat a class, we got you. If you want to bring a new person in to train, we got you there too. If you simply want to make sure you're taking advantage of all the efficiencies that the software offers for the long term, you got it with no change orders ever. So we also never outsource our Sage Intacct Construction services. So you're getting the same team that deployed you, that knows you well, how you're set up, all based in North America, by the way, all know you very well. So before we head out, I just want to ask all of you to go to askrichard.io. This is Bangert's proprietary AI tool that we have built in-house to deliver information for free about Sage Intacct Construction. You can use it like ChatGPT. Just ask it questions and it'll pop open text and videos with more information on what you want to know about Sage Intacct Construction. And I'll put a link in the comments for you as well. So thanks again for joining me today. I know your time is super valuable. I really am grateful for you getting on here and even watching the recording if you're not here live. So if you do want to talk more, PM me here on LinkedIn or email me at justineb@bangertinc.com. Thanks, everybody.